Hello everyone, this is Salkek, also known as Paulelia, and welcome to Modded Kerbal Space Program. This is going to be a modded career game, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start a new game. I've got a bunch of mods installed, like this huge list. I will have a list in the description of all of the mods I'm using, if you want to check them out. So we're going to be playing career mode, and I'm going to be calling this YouTube for fun. And I'm going to go ahead, you can already see I got some flags, like I got the KOS flag, I got the DMagic flag, Infernal Robotics, SCANSat, like USI, all sorts of cool stuff. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick something interesting, something I don't typically use. I'm going to go ahead and just pick these stripes. I'm going to pick these stripes, and I'm going to set some custom difficulty options for myself. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the settings here, the starting settings on normal, but I'm going to pick I'm going to uncheck missing crew members respawn. So I don't want my Kerbals to respawn. If they die, they're dead. Just 100% they're gone. And for the purposes of this series, I'm going to not revert a flight, but I'm going to leave this option checked, and similarly I'm not going to quick load, but I'm going to leave these checked in case the mods bug out. I want to be able to have these controls enabled so that I can go back and fix things, basically. So those are going to be my difficulty, just normal game, except for I don't want my Kerbals to come back when they die, so we're going to go ahead and start. So I've got a community tech tree mod installed, which completely redoes the tech tree. I've got TAC life support, as you can see here. So we'll go ahead and just keep everything on the default. I got Kerbal alarm clock. Let me go ahead and move this. Get this. No, come on. Get this out of the way here. We can just tuck it up here. That's good. So I've got the better contracts, the contracts plus menu here for viewing contracts. Got SCANSat obviously going here. This is a contract configurator, Kerbal alarm clock, Kerbal mechanics, which is an interesting one that allows part failures, which gets super frustrating. But we're gonna go ahead and leave it on for added stress, I guess. So let's check out the tech tree. You can see here it's quite the thing going on here, and our starting tech. We start with I got some procedural parts. I don't use them too often, but there's some uses when they're handy. Get some procedural parts. Get some solid fuel boosters. Start with a probe core and the barometer and the thermometer and the communitron. So if you've not played with a lot of these mods, they basically just make the game a whole heck of a lot harder. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to achieve an altitude record. And we're going to escape the atmosphere. Those are going to be the two contracts that we take. We only have $45,000 to spend on this rocket. It's not going to cost us $45,000 to build the rocket I have in mind. So obviously we need to start with a probe core. Probe core is most important. On the probe core, we're going to have the thermometer. And I guess on the other side, I'll put the barometer. Now, we kind of want this to be somewhat aerodynamic. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this on, this nose cone, and basically this is covering up, is shielding the probe core bit, and that way I can tuck in my antenna right like that. I'm not going to be deploying it right away, obviously, because in the atmosphere it just get ripped off, but it is going to be important. You can see, I guess I should show you from here. You can see this antenna has an omni range of 160 kilometers, so if you go above 160 straight up, you lose contact with the ground, and the remote tech mod makes it so that the probe cores can only be controlled if you have a connection. I will show you more when we launch. For now, I'm going to slap on the hammer, like this, and I believe that is all that we can do. Yeah, I mean, I suppose I could put an adapter, but that just costs some extra money. This is going to work just fine. This will hopefully shield us. I'm a bit nervous about my antenna, to be perfectly honest. I think think maybe here, and then have it should just clip up through the part, right? If I hit extend. Or sorry, if I hit start deployed. Yeah, okay, we'll try that. Hopefully that'll work. It should be fine like that. I just don't want it to get ripped off as we're going up. Alright. So, one of the things I'm going to be doing with the series, I'm going to let you guys suggest names in the comments and any future live streams of this I do. I'm planning on doing a couple of live streams just because it's a lot of fun to have you guys interact with me as I'm building stuff. So, once again, tag life support. It's in the way. We can stick this one down here for now. I don't know why it decides to start like in the middle of the screen, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna name this Space Blaster Mark 1 because we're just gonna blast straight to space. So obviously we've got 6 of 30 parts. We're under 4 tons. We're very, very small. There's really nothing else I have unlocked at all, so I have to start with this. Okay. So now I can show off some of the other mods I have. So up here you can already see some icons loading in. I have the docking port alignment indicator. I have the waypoint manager mod. Over here you can see I have, this is the science notification mod, so it shows you sciences. I have Chatterer open. Let's go ahead and close this. This just shows you parts and resource consumption and whatnot. SCANSat, the contracts menu, logistics panel. This is an improved resources panel that I sometimes have open, the KOS panel, Kerbal alarm clock, another waypoint manager thing, that's fine. Okay, so since we're on the launch pad, we obviously have a connection. You can see here, green, we have a connection. There's no lag at all with our connection. This is our flight computer that we can program in. I'll get to that in a second. For now, as we're sitting on the launch pad though, we can do launch pad science. So let's take an atmospheric pressure scan, a temperature scan, and get a telemetry report from our probe. All good things, and then since we're here, we'll just 100% transmit everything. It plays the beeping noise to let me know that it's transmitting data successfully. It's a bit loud, yeah. I think that's part of Chatterer. I have the volumes all turned way down, but if it's too loud, I can just fix it in editing. So it won't be loud for you guys. So the flight computer right now is set to mode off. It's got kill, rotate, it's got point to node, orbital, surface, target, etc. You can set a custom right here, and then you can pick prograde or retrograde or normal or anti-normal or whatever. So 90, 90, 90. If I hit custom, that's just straight up. So heading of 90 degrees is along the 90 degrees line. Roll of 90 degrees means it's going to put 90 degrees this way. It's going to put 0 down, basically. And then pitch 90 degrees means from the horizon line we go 90 degrees up. So this is effectively straight up, and we're just going to hold straight up the entire time. And if we wanted to, we could program in a certain amount of seconds of burn. If we had a node pre-planned, we could execute the node, and then this is just obviously hide and toggle. We can set a delay, so we can be like in, you know, set this to be like 10 seconds, in 10 seconds, burn for X number of seconds, whatever. Can't really do that because we have solid fuel right now, so I'm just going to be holding this, and I'm going to launch. And I'm going to quickly then grab all this science and transmit this back. Once again, it's going to chime in and send the transmission back, and we're just going to blast straight up to space. We're getting the atmospheric drag effects coming. You can see the nose cone is doing its thing. Oh, we're going too fast. We're going to overheat. I should have throttled the engine. Oh, our altimeter has been stuck. We don't know what our altitude is. This mission is crazy failure. Alright, we're getting some transmissions in from over the water. So we really didn't make it that high. And now we can't tell. You can see right here, our numbers aren't changing even though we're falling. That's because we have a failure that the altimeter is stuck. So we can go check the reliability stats, and we can see that the altimeter can get stuck. It has a reliability of 99.99%. However, if we surpass 12 Gs, there's a 100% failure chance. The thrust gauge could also get stuck, and the part monitor could also get stuck. So reliability is a huge, huge thing that can happen. So basically this is just going to splash down and hit the water, and then we're going to do another launch. And Splash. Boom. Alright. Obviously, we've lost our connection because we were destroyed. That's okay. We're never going to hit revert. We're always just going to go right back to the Space Center. So this time, we're going to go tweak our design in the VAB. And we did earn a couple of science points, I should point out before we go into the VAB. We've got 11 science points. So we need 4 to unlock some parts or whatever, but we're going to do the mission properly, and we're going to gain a little bit more science before we start spending some points. So we're going to come in here, and we're going to take the thrust limiter, and we're going to drop the thrust limiter all the way down to like 45 or so. 45 is a good number, and we're going to go ahead and version this 1.1. I'm going to save it. And actually, I think we might be able to unlock a single science experiment in one of the things. It might be nice just to have that extra science. So let's double check. Do we get any science experiments in these? I don't think so. We have the science bay. Oh, we do. We get this. We get the accelerometer. So we're gonna grab this real quick. Basic rocketry. Just so we can have the accelerometer strapped to the side of the thing. Gain a couple extra science points, so we won't have to do this again. So in the science tab, we now have the accelerometer. The accelerometer, of course, is just gonna be stuck right there on the side, opposite of our antenna thing. Okay, we're gonna save. This is version 1.1. Added another science experiment. We've also got this reflectron. It's got the same range. Oh, it has a less range. Oh, okay, my bad. So the Communicatron has a range of 2.5 million meters. It's pretty good. This reflectron only has a range of 1.2 million meters. Both are significantly larger than the 160 kilometer range of the actual probe itself. And you can see this uses way less charge. And this snaps under high dynamic pressure, whereas this doesn't. So, what's the price on these? Okay, this one costs way less, so we're gonna go ahead and swap. The only thing is, this one is a bit bigger. There we go. Couldn't get my rotation set just right, and I'm gonna go ahead and, just because I can, design-wise, I'm gonna go ahead and sink this in. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Not that much. Not that much. Come back out. Come back out. Come back out. I wish you could have like a gentler snapping. Oh, you can with shift. I had no idea. All right, we'll do like that. That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and save this. So that antenna will work just fine. It'll be active. We'll have good signal. And so this time our ascent should be much slower, and so we should actually go straight up the entire time. And we can take our seismic stand and transmit that back. Set ourselves to 90, 90, 90, 90. It says 90, 180, 180 just because we're kind of just sitting here or whatever, but that's fine. Okay, and we're gonna go 3, 2, 1, blast off. Much slower ascent. We still have pretty good acceleration, so we should be fine for heading to space. I do have MechJeb installed. We'll be unlocking that later. And as I said, KOS is installed, so we'll be getting to the point where we have like completely hands-free takeoff and probably landing as well. I'm not sure how well KOS will handle like parachutes and things, but I'm gonna try for doing like return trips and stuff. Because in reality, the computer does like 99% of all space flying is either done by the computer or by the ground transmitting up. Oh, we flipped once again. This is not good. We still have lots of fuel. We can see as we were going up, we were slowly getting a little bit of signal delay. Our rocket is just out of control. I thought 45 would have been fine, but apparently 45 was not fine. Well, as I said, we can't revert, so we are going to be wasting the money of this flight. I mean, we did that one science experiment. We might get over the waters here and be able to do another seismic stand. I doubt it, though. We are plunging in quite rapidly. And the chatterer beeps I have set. I'm probably going to slow them down a bit. Yeah, I have it set to beep like every 10 seconds. Let's have that set to be like every 15. Yeah, this is all just counting as the shores. We didn't get far enough out into the open water. And bam. Alright, we'll head back to the Space Center. We'll throttle it down even more, I guess. I guess we'll go for 30%. Again, I don't have MechJeb or Kerbal Engineer or anything like that, so I can't actually see what my like thrust weight ratio is right now. Let's be extremely. Let's go 27.5%. And I just overrid the 1.1 model, whatever. I don't want to fill up with too many versions. So basically, 1.0 just had the 2 experiments. 1.1 had 3 experiments and the throttled system or whatever. So no science. Just do it on the ground this time. We'll just go. Yeah, okay. That is much, much gentler. I have a feeling that this is going to be just a fine takeoff. Whoa, what the hell was that noise? Craziness. So hopefully we'll just cruise on up nice and gentle. Eventually we'll be headed out in this direction. I believe in terms of what contracts we want to do. Why are we... Oh, crap. I forgot to set this. So we're just free floating now. Great. And this control wheel isn't going to be enough, so... Wasted even more. Oh my gosh. I'm a comedy of errors, guys. I'm a comedy of errors. Yeah, this is just going to plunge into the water. 100%. Are we going to go water? Water? No. Look at this. We're doing a 360! Boom. Nope. Okay. My God. So that was all on me. So no revert at all. That was just all my fault. I forgot to engage SAS. So we're going to just go ahead and relaunch the Space Blaster Mark 11. We're going to launch it. And this time I'm going to remember to engage the flight computer SAS before we hit launch. And now we should be good. Man, that was just like a rookie mistake I made. Ugh, I was too busy thinking about the moon. Anyway, as I was saying before we got distracted by my failures as a space commander, because of remote tech, you really can't, unless you're sending manned missions everywhere, and manned missions with the community tech tree I have are quite difficult. You need to get quite a lot of science before you can start doing manned missions. Doing like a moon flyby or something, you need to have like a satellite network in place. So these first few episodes are probably going to be doing a couple of doing contract missions, doing some satellite stuff, setting up our remote tech network once we have the ability to do so. And that gets you, when you have the remote tech network, that gets you quite a lot of cash. And then from there, we're probably going to do things like put something in orbit around the moon, put something in orbit around Minmus, or whatever. And then, at that stage, we'll probably be ready to start moving into the manned missions. And ultimately, my goal is to use some of the colonization stuff to set up permanent bases on almost every single thing you can. Like, we want to have a base everywhere, and we want them to be like self-sustaining. And we get some science because we're high in the atmosphere. So let's go ahead and grab all these, transmit them back, and you're getting some heat effects because our speed is picking up and we're still in the air, but we are out of fuel, but we have a lot of momentum going up. We're already at 30k, so that's great. And you can see we still have our stable connection back home. You cannot transmit science if you don't have a connection. Sometimes, especially for like the thermostat and stuff like that, you can take readings even without the connection, but you can't fire your engines, you can't rotate. The whole flight computer SAS doesn't work. The regular SAS doesn't work. Without a connection, the probes literally can't do anything unless you've pre-programmed them all into your flight computer. So, as an example, I can do something like, 20 seconds, set my delay to be 20 seconds, and then I can say at 20 seconds, do orbital prograde. Okay, and you can see it adds in, then it's doing a countdown, and then I can say, like, 25 seconds from now, then do kill rotate. So what this will do is, you'll see here, I wonder if we have enough reaction wheels to rotate, but you see it's counting down, and there we go. Oh, we're holding it. Okay, and now it's just going to follow orbital prograde. We're in space. Oh yeah, let's get this science going. Boo, boo, boo. Look at those points coming in. 3 points. 3 points. 1 point. And now, bam, we're set to kill rotation mode. So even as our orbital prograde starts to move, we are now going to hold this orientation. And you can delay as much as you want. Like I could have set this to be in minutes. And now it's 25 minutes on the delay. So you can go ahead and you can set your delay to be whatever you want. Or if you just want to do, like, I can just go orbital retrograde and hold that. Which is probably what I'm going to do so that we're aerodynamically coming in. And I think we're probably going to be coming in over the grasslands. Yeah, over the grasslands, because the planet has rotated around from under us. Oh, no, I want to face prograde so that we're pointing downwards. That's right. I forgot it's doing the flip-floppy. So we still have our connection. If I go to map view, you can see here this red dot represents the space center, and this green line means we have a direct connection to the space center. And basically what you're going to want to do is set up, you know, a thing of communication satellites so that you have coverage all around the world. Because if you're over here, you can't send a signal through the planet. The signals will come out this way and come out this way. So you need satellites out here to catch the signals and then bounce them back to home. So that's going to be something we have to set up, because otherwise right now we can really only communicate if we're within, you know, like this gap basically. If you come like even like out over here into space, like if we were coming in like for a landing, we got down into the atmosphere over here, curvature of the planet's in the way, you lose your connection, you can't deploy your parachutes unless you've pre-programmed all your stuff into the flight computer. So let's get out of map view. We're just plummeting back into the air here, and I guess I'll leave it on fast forward, and I'll bring you guys in if we get any science. I doubt we'll get science. We might when we get really low though, but who knows if we'll have time to catch it. Oh, this is going in fast. Okay, we're coming in. Let's surface prograde. We're getting some grassland science. Transmit it quickly before we lose connection or anything. We're semi-aerodynamic, so we're moving this direction. Oh, we're over tundra. Aw, oh, damn it. I didn't quite get the tundra, but that was crazy. There's a tundra biome right there. And we're gonna hit the beach. Bam. Alright, so we can head back to the Space Center and we can check out all the science points we got. Delicious science points. Look at that, 39.9 science points. Excellent. So we can go ahead and buy some stuff. Obviously, we're going to want to get engineering, because engineering has another science experiment we can get, as well as having another universal storage container and a bigger battery. We got the universal storage quad core there, so having that is good. Boom, 4 points there. Early aviation gets us the basic parachute and gets us the inline cockpit. Let's see what else though. General rocketry will give us the swivel engine, general rocketry, so we're definitely going to grab that. Stability just gives us jet engine. So let's see, 4 and 16. So we need 20 points. We are 0.1 science away from being able to unlock like early aviation and survivability, which has the mystery goo container and has the procedural heat shield, which is a heat shield just small enough for the probe core to survive if you wanted to bring it back for some cash and some bigger batteries. The procedural heat shield doesn't actually get big enough. You need to get all the way up to here where the 1.25 meter heat shield is. So I suppose we could make a beeline for survivability real quick here before the end. So basically we'll just grab that. We have 15.9. Yeah, 15.9. So not quite enough research. But what we can do is let's do it in the space plane hangar, because we haven't done any research from the runway yet, so that'll be good. We'll go ahead and just probe core, and this will allow me to show you one of that research experiment here. We'll put the probe core down like that. The magnometer boom from DMagic science pack. It requires some electrical charge. We'll go ahead and just I'll slap this on like that. And then we'll put the rest of our current experiments on board here. Barometer. So the boom deploys quite a ways out. So it's really not something you want to do in atmospheric flight. But I don't know how physics enabled it is, because you know, it is one of the, it does have mass. You can see it's got 0.015 mass, so it's not these 0.005 ones that are essentially massless in terms of calculations, but it does have some stuff. And you can see we got the magnometer boom in a universal storage, which if you don't know what it is, that's a thing. and then you can put these components onto it. Like this is a science base, so it's just empty. The magnetometer boom one actually has the magnetometer in it. And there's one of these for basically all the science experiments. But we don't need this. We don't need this on there. We just need our stuff, because on the ground we'll be close enough. And then we'll call this just a science pod. And we'll probably update the science pod eventually to have wheels, and I'll roll around off camera and collect all this ground science you can from KSC. But boom, look! We have things of science we can do. So the magnetometer has to deploy first, and then it comes up, and you can see it's going to give us 1 point science. There we go, plenty of science. Playing the chime in, adding the data, and we're done. So we're going to go ahead and recover the vessel. Our first recovery. That's great. Bam! Funds recovered. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So we also cleared our contracts. So you can see here, create a communications network for Kerbal with 3 satellites. We'll give you $225,000. Creating a network with 4 satellites, we'll give you a full $3,000. So we're probably gonna do the 4 satellites, and it's just easier to have the square set up. I did a triangle one in the past, and it was fraught with issues. A lot of times, because there's only 3 satellites, if one is behind the planet and runs out of electric charge because you didn't put enough batteries on your satellite to last the transit behind the planet, your whole network goes out of commission, and it's not good. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna accept this one because we're gonna do it, and of course we're gonna accept orbit because we have to orbit in order to put satellites. So the orbit should get us a chunk of change, and then we'll just work towards this one. Orbit's probably gonna be the next thing we do, but let's go get those science here at the end of the video. So we wanted survivability because it has the mystery goo containment, and it has extended batteries, which is great. You can see here if we get 45, we'll get our first command pod. Enhanced survivability has all the rest of the parachutes and has some food tanks and oxygen tanks. That's life support stuff. Obviously, if we're going to go for a satellite, it needs a way to recharge, so we're going to have to jump down here to basic science pretty much next, I think. Maybe also advanced rocketry just for the Terrier engine, but definitely basic science. It adds the orbital telescope, it adds the Science Junior, and it adds our first dish antenna. It also has the altimetry sensor for SCANSat, so we might actually set up like a Mooner scan sensor so we can start getting some moon data. Moon data. Alright, but that's going to be it for this time, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave any feedback you want in the comment section. Names for spaceships, potential future missions, all that stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Oh, you guys are in my dish cabinet. That's cool. If you like that video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos from me, you can go ahead and subscribe. Just click the little button. You get new videos from me Monday through Friday, delivered right to your sub feed. It's a pretty awesome deal. And if you're feeling extra generous, I have a Patreon page. There's a link to that in the description. You can go ahead and leave a couple of bucks, and it'll help support me so I can make more content. You'll notice that I've got a couple of goals in order to do like 2 videos a day, videos on the weekend, including some live streaming on the weekends. It'll be great if you could do that, but you don't have to. It's totally optional. Just if you're super awesome and supportive, you can go ahead and do that. Anyway, I've blabbled on enough, and I will see you guys next time.